howdy. What does that poo say on South Park?
He says, howdy ho.
Yeah,
howdy
that's
ho. That's
us
what he
saying
says.
that to you. It's these two fellas. We're sat here. We're in front of our screens again.
Yes.
With our microphones. Flapping our lips about.
Yes. Yes. I don't
That's
know
what you've come here for.
Yeah.
if you hadn't come before, you sure are now. Get it? What a weird intro. I'm a bit delirious and tired today. And normally I like to do a coming up in this podcast, but there's not really a specific coming up thing. It's one of those where we're just chatting bollocks for a long time. I've not really brought anything to this one.
Been a few of them.
I feel like there's been a curse over the lands lately. And you know how like those whack jobs, what are they called on Futurama? They're called the League of Mad Fellows.
With their tinfoil hats on, yeah.
You know, how there's those people out there who wear like the sandwich boards. It says like the end is nigh and stuff like that, and they believe that like what is it? The trails from the jets that are left in the sky are actually like the contain chemicals and they're like infecting us with shit. Well, I'm wondering if that's true because there's been something in the air this week, right? Everyone I've seen and everyone I've known, including myself, has just been so fucking tired and like a little bit depressed. Like, and it's sunny, it's nice, and there's nothing bad particularly going on. But I don't know, everyone just seems like wiped out. I've actually gotten like a fair amount of sleep lately. I've been taking quite a few naps and stuff. I don't know what it is. You noticed any of this?
No, not really. I mean, to be honest, I've been staying up fairly late, I think. I've been staying up till about midnight every night. But I usually...
Calm down, you party animal.
That is late for me, though, because I'm up at like 6 in the morning, or like sometimes... I get up at like 5.
It's like...
You should have said this before, then. That's on you. That's on you. Yeah, fuck you. I
know, you get up at around 6 a.m, maybe sometimes before, if I'm right, sometimes.
Maybe it's just something to do with the sort of, like, work environment that you're in, because are you in, like, you're in offices basically all day, aren't you? And you're like... No,
I'm sat right here, every day.
Sat right there. Then let me ask you something. The fuck are you talking to that seems best?
No, like when I go out, like when I go to the shop and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, like, and like my family who I've seen recently, and just people I've seen out and about when we're about doing errands and all sorts. Just this week, I don't know. I feel like there's been some sort of either magic exists and some sort of wizard's done a curse, or those chemtrail things. You know, they might exist. They might be putting some. I said to my girlfriend, maybe it's true, and maybe they're doing some sort of update to humans, and we're all just like in the update process or something like that. I don't know, but I feel exhausted. I don't know what it is. Just feel absolutely knackered lately, and that's it. I don't know whether part of it is because, as we mentioned last week. I've been on a run to master rank in Apex Legends. We did a massive going on about ranked video games last week, so listen to the last podcast if you're interested in any of that. We talk about Overwatch and Hearthstone and Apex Legends and all sorts of other stuff. But if you listen to that, you'll know I've been trying to get to master rank in Apex Legends, and I've finally done it! Yes! I've been aiming for this for fucking years! And listen, right, I want to address the first thing people are going to think, because they're going to figure out which season I got to Master Rank, current season 17, and they're going to be like, oh, that doesn't fucking count. Anyone can get to Masters that season. And my response to that is, I know. And I did. So I'm happy now, okay? I don't give a shit. None of that matters to me.
Yeah.
I got the shiny
thing.
purple badge next to my name. That's all
Yeah.
I'm bothered about.
You
I
ticked
saw
the
the
box.
animation where the blue badge
Yeah.
went whoosh, 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 ding, and turned into a purple one, okay?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. I got it. I'm done, okay?
That's all you need. That's all you need. Like
I recorded footage of it as well because, like, I just wanted to be able to look back on that moment. And yeah, it's quite fun. What I will say about it though is that I've not really. I think people's main problem with it is the system's flawed, and it means that you can just hide the entire time. Sorry, my hair looks absolutely insane. When I'm done blabbing, I'm gonna put a hat on or something. That right here. I'm gonna put it on. For the video version of this, you'll see how ridiculous this looks because I just put it right on top of my headphones. And now I've unplugged my headphones and I can't fucking hear anything. I don't know. I actually, the hat's gone down above my eyes and my hair's all in my eyes as well. I'm a massive mess right now. What the fuck is going on? What was I saying? Oh yeah, the ranked system caters for you to just be able to hide the whole time and eventually gain points and get there. But if I'm being brutally honest, I'm 100% honest. I didn't do that. I just played how I normally would. And having said that, I think that just shows that the system's busted anyway. That even like lower skilled players will just get a higher rank than they ever have gotten before. And some people could say that's a negative thing. I think it probably is a negative thing. I will fully admit that the system is broken and stupid, but okay, I got there and I'm really pleased, and it means that I can just casually enjoy Apex Legends, the game I've been playing for years now. And I can play viewer games with my favorite streamer because he does viewer games. I can fucking try out the new interesting game modes. I can play it here and there when I fancy it. I can play it with my cousin. I can play it to get hyped for the LAN competition that's in London in this summer, stuff like that. But I can just like have a few games every other week now, rather than thinking, I've got to get it. I got to get the purple badge. I need it.
Yeah.
And I was genuinely thinking this, that I'd not realised, right, that every single goal I've set myself in life, I've achieved. Like, literally every goal. And that sounds ridiculous, and I guess that sounds cocky in a way, but
No, it doesn't. It sounds the complete opposite. It sounds, in this context, it sounds really sad. I know what you're talking about. I know in the grand picture of things what you're talking about. But off the back of that, it sounds really sad because it's like you're going. Well, I've peaked. There's nothing left.
no, that's not. No, because like I set myself goals of like learning certain songs when I was doing music, making an album, things like that, and winning a boxing fight when I won that. Think all sorts of stuff like that. I set myself a goal of like hike. I remember one time I set myself a goal of walking to Meadowhall, which is a shopping centre in near Sheffield, it was like 14 miles walk at the time or something. Like, I'm gonna fucking do that, and I did it. And the only thing that I've ever set myself the goal of doing was getting to master rank in this game. And that's the only thing I've ever fallen short of. And now I could set myself ridiculous goals and I would definitely fall short of them. I'm not saying that I'm an amazing person who can do literally fucking anything. My point is that I always feel like I've set myself reasonable goals that I would really like to do. And this is the only one that, like, I'd not done, and I think it was genuinely really bothering me. And I was so glad that I know that I've kind of cheesed it, but in a way, you can kind of see it like I've done everything I can to get there, no matter what. Because I played on console, I played on controller, I played at times when there was more kids playing because they're easy opponents. I played in a season where it's like a lot easier, and the map that was the hardest to play on, I avoided playing as much on that day, and all sorts of stuff like that. And you can almost see it like that in a way that I've basically just capitalized on as many advantages as I can, if you want to be nice. Or you could say, well, it don't fucking really count. You've not actually really achieved anything because it's a shit season. And both things would be correct. But anyway, that's what I've been up to. I feel like I'm tired as part of that as well, because I finally achieved this goal, and it felt a bit like Thanos, after he snaps and he goes to the garden, he kind of sits down and he's got a satisfied look in his face. I pretty much did the same thing, because that day I then I bought a disposable barbecue, and I cooked up a barbecue and got some beers, and I sat in the sun in my garden and I bit this burger, had a swig of beer, and I sat and I was like, Today's a good day. It was totally like that, but I feel like it's worn me out kind of doing it. I did it fucking quick as well. Let me have a little peek at the stats of it. I will move on from this soon, because obviously I don't want to blab another podcast about it, but I did it in come on, what is it? Oh, fucking hell, computer, stop trying to change my language. 12 days. And there's how many days that you get to do it? 42.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'm pretty proud of that. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm going to add my shiny purple badge later, because they don't give you it as soon as you hit it for some reason. I don't know why. But anyway, yeah. What have you been doing, Judd? You been playing any ranked of anything?
I have, but I don't want to talk about it.
Has Hearthstone not been going well then?
No, you know what? I actually, from the last time we talked about it, I was on Platinum 8. I'm now on Platinum 5.
Mic, Judd.
Sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, everybody at home. There you go.
They might not listen to this at home. They might listen to it in space.
Well, they don't. They listen to it in
Rwanda.
Fucking Seattle or where do we have fans?
Yeah, Seattle, that's the one.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so I was at Platinum 8 the last time we talked about it. Now I'm at Platinum 5, which is it's a lot more significant than it sounds at, because every
I'm sorry to bother you, Judd, but it's a bit quiet now.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Tiny
bit. Every sort of halfway through every sort of rank, bronze, silver, and gold, you get a sort of little break. So once you hit level 5 of a certain medal, you then can't go down from say from rank 5 to rank 6.
Right, yeah.
But you can if you go to 4, then drop back down to 5. But you can't go any lower than 5.
Almost like a hard stuck kind of area.
So and I did make it to 4, but then I've dropped back down to 5, and I've been hard stuck at 5 for the past few days.
You've really fallen off, because Platinum's far from top of Diamond, huh?
I think I think the deck I was using at the time, it wasn't. I said Goblins versus Gnomes in the last time we're talking about it. It was Boomsday Project that I nearly got to Legend, and that was a really good deck. This is all right. This deck I'm using, but it's it's more because I sort of think it's a fun gimmick, the deck, and I enjoy playing it. But there's some other decks, like the fucking Warlock one right now is just fucking bonkers. And I was thinking about maybe doing the Warlock one, but I need a shit ton of dust. But it's if I was doing a better deck, either the Warlock one or there's another Paladin one that's pretty good actually. That's all about getting just a bunch of little minions out. Yeah, I think I could probably do a lot better, but I'm not doing those decks.
What else have you been up to then, Judd? Because it sounds like you can't be arsed with that, and you've been doing other stuff instead.
Yeah, well, I've not necessarily been doing anything interesting, but I do have something to talk about today, which I actually think you're really going to like this topic. I think this is going to tickle your fucking pickle a bit, this.
Tickle me,
I wanted to talk about wacky and cool technologies that I've seen whilst working on building sites, fucking wacky gizmos and gadgets, because I've been working now in the sort of building business for 3 years, and it's not all fucking cement mixers and bricks. Let me tell you, I've seen some funky shit in my time.
It is. It's
not.
just cement mixers and bricks. That's all it is.
So,
you're trying to build a fence. That's really hard with just cement mixers and bricks.
I'm building a fence right now. Building a fence to your fucking line of questioning. Anyway, so like for example, the site we're on right now, it's I think it's going to be a nursing home, and it's pretty open. This sort of building site, it's like a very simple sort of structure, and that means that a lot of stuff can sort of be put on the site, like a lot easier than things that be closed off. So there's this huge, and I never even really noticed it, because you know when something's that big and like encompassing, it kind of just like it's there and it's like part of everything, and it's like this huge crane, and this crane is like on these huge like sets of wheels, which are now sort of like pointed up, as the whole thing is sort of like stood up so it can be used as a crane. But it was I didn't see it get driven in, but it was obviously like driven in on the back of some huge fucking like truck, because this thing's massive. And me and this other guy we're gonna get some like bags of plastering or something.
You could say some cement, basically, because it's just all cement and bricks. Am I right?
Well, no, plaster is completely different from cement.
All right, getting into your technicalities. Just because, this one slurry is very different to this other slurry.
It's like cement is made for like using fucking stones and houses and bricks and plaster. You like put on your walls and your roofs.
I bet you could use cement as plaster.
You could. It'd be awful.
But I don't
It'd be like living in some sort of
cement.
Britain for mad people. But
if you used plaster as cement, I think you'd have a problem.
That wouldn't be very good. I'm pretty sure you couldn't do that. Anyway, so this huge fucking crane, like we're getting some plaster in, at least like full pallet of plaster, and I don't like to bother like forklift drivers or crane drivers, like unless I basically have to, like it's a full thing, a full pallet of like plasterboards, like. So we were just gonna get this. We were just gonna carry these bags of plaster into this building one by one, essentially, and this guy comes over to us and he goes, "What you doing, man?" He's like foreign from some place. I couldn't discern, some Eastern European place, I think. He's like, "What you doing, man?" And I'm like, we're just gonna carry all these bags into the building. And he goes, No, stop right there. I've seen you two working before. You two are fucking grafters. Let me sort this out for you, man. And I went
Are
a
we
bit
allowed
Jamaican,
to do this this accent? Is this too
Why
far?
not? He's a good guy. He's a cool guy.
Tweet at Tweets Badly and let us know how racist Judd's being right now.
He's a fucking sick guy anyway. Anyway, so he like sort of had this, he was wearing this belt, and on this belt was like a remote control. It looked like a stereotypical like joystick that you'd use on like, like when you see in cartoons kids playing console games and they've got the stereotypical fucking like big joystick control. That's what it looked like he was wearing on his belt. And he goes, "Give me 1 second." And he's like going on this little belt thing. And I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? What's going on? Because like I say, I've not even really sort of clocked this thing, because it's so like just there and massive. And I've not even actually sort of like looked directly up. Like, like I stood, like I fucking looked directly up into the sky. But like, as I did, this huge crane, like encompassed everything, like the whole building site. And he sort of like just went, and this thing turns.
I love this impression of the noise that he did.
It's like swings over the whole building. It like. I
think we need that noise for a Star Wars droid.
Yeah, it can call be Plinko the droid. Anyway, the fucking. It was just awesome. It was just like this huge fucking sort of like, I felt like I was in a fucking grabber machine. I felt like it was going to come pick me up and I was going to be like dropped in a big basin or something. But it was cool. It came down and it got into these bags of plasters, and then it lifted them over to like the other side of the building, which I thought was really fucking cool. But it was seeing that crane that made me sort of want to do this topic, because that's not been like, you know, the only thing. One of the coolest...
it is crazy though. That's kind of almost like I've watched Guardians of the Galaxy recently, the latest one that's just come out, and that's like that sort of shit.
Fuck. Oh my god.
Well, he says fucking. He says open the fucking door, and it's really unnecessary. Like, it's just out of place. It's obviously for marketing, by the way, that. It's obviously so they can say, it's the first one to ever...
Where they say the fuck
swearing. But anyway, it's like some shit from that. It's something that Rocket would use and like, do some fancy bollocks with. You know, control a fucking, like, claw from an implant in his arm or something. And it's like, it's not far off of that.
It is. This one's cooler, though. This one, I loved this one. So basically, there was this was on the very first building site I was on about 3 years ago, and they had to do like obviously with cement they had to do. So this one is about cement, Jake. Here you go.
Told you. Is there some bricks involved as well?
So yeah, why not? So they'd had these big sort of rollers in at one point to like get these big bits of cement that they needed rolling flat, but there was like certain like bits that they couldn't get to with the big ones. So this guy was like, all right, give me a minute, I'll go get the little one. And I thought, oh, that's weird that they've like they've driven two of these fucking rollers here, you know, and just had the second one here just in case. But no, what it was this very tiny remote control car roller. And
like a cement roller.
yeah, just like a cement roller, but it was like a little fucking remote control car. It was adorable. It was awesome. It did the job perfectly. It was just this tiny little sort of remote control cement roll. It was great.
Could you? I wouldn't be able to resist saying, "Can I have a go on that?"
I know. I was like looking at it. I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "There's probably like 4 tests you have to do to be able to operate one of those things," and he's probably on like £100 an hour. But I just want to go like, "Can I have a turn, please?"
That's funny.
The another thing was, I was actually on one of these things, and they were fucking scary, I'll be honest with you. Are these sort of like huge, and again, I'm talking like huge mobile elevators. You might have seen them before, but they're like... So at one point when we're working on these buildings, we had hoists in the building. So, you know, we could like fill the hoist up at the bottom and then send the hoist up to a certain floor. And then we could just walk up the stairs and get the stuff out of the hoist. At some point in the building process, the hoist had to go because that whole section of scaffolding had to be removed, basically. And we ordered in like to rent these huge drivable elevators. So you basically you climbed into them, got on the top where you'd stand in the elevator, and there'd be again a little joystick off to the side that'd have a key in it. You turn it on and you drive the elevator to where you'd want to go. But the thing shook like fucking crazy. And when you're up there as well, like we're at the very top of this apartment of, you know, this building of apartments, and it's really windy as well, and the whole thing's just going. that one wasn't so fun, but it was cool that it was just like basically this huge drivable elevator. I don't know.
Elevator, fuck you.
Yeah,
it's when you like phrase them. You know, when you phrase them with not their technical term, they sound like fucking sci-fi things, you know?
Yeah, I know. I mean, to be fair, even the fact that it's called a Mupe sounds a bit sci-fi, doesn't it? We'll call him the Mupe. What the fuck is that? It's a drivable
it
elevator.
Like some sort of like military term or something, you know? Like a weird military device.
Yeah. But no, it's cool. There's a whole bunches of gadgets and fucking gizmos. Even like you know, there was this sort. I had a little go with like.
Could you say there was gadgets and gizmos aplenty?
Yeah.
something. And now she's in a controversy because of the latest actress. Do you know what? Fucking, I'm speaking on it, Judd. I'm speaking on the fucking Little Mermaid actress, because the live action one, she's black. She's black, goddammit, and I don't care. That's my stance. It doesn't matter, really. Let's be honest.
It really
There's cases
anyway.
where changing the race of an actor in a role in a story could be a bad thing. That is possible. In this case, it just doesn't really matter. The only thing people could be bothered about when it comes to the colour of anything would be the colour of her hair. Because in Disney, she had red hair for a reason, because she was meant to represent the Red Sea. All of Neptune's daughters represented different seas, and she had red hair because she was a Red Sea. Kind of cool. I like that. However, like, that's Disney did that. Like, they added that as a cool detail, so you don't have to do that. However, I would say if you don't, like, why not? It's kind of just cool, you know? You may as well.
It is Disney, though, that's doing it, isn't it?
No, but I mean, the animated Disney brought that. The animated Little Mermaid did that. But she has got red hair, so that ticks that off. So there's literally nothing to actually be pissed off about with that. I don't get it. What I did see, though, is... I don't know if it's some bootleg thing I saw on Twitter. Someone had tweeted a picture of like a more modern 3D CGI version of Little Mermaid. And I don't know if it was like bait or what, but I the caption that she'd put with this picture was, "Oh, none of y'all are mad about this one, are you?" And I looked at it and went, I am mad about that one. She's not got red hair. It's like, and cause she was white in that one, and she had brown hair. And I was like, that's not very cool. You could just give her red hair, then like the Red Sea. And, although I suppose that could be negated very easily if one of her sisters has red hair, and then she just represents a different sea.
She's the brown sea.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I think everyone's a bit too outraged about mermaids, is my whole point.
I don't know.
I think everyone should chill out about the mermaids.
The thing is, though, is if you want to be mad about a race swap in something, why don't you be mad about the one that actually matters? You know, when they made Queen Cleopatra black in the new documentary.
Did they?
You know,
it's not a documentary though, because it can't be.
No, I know.
Like, if it was a documentary, then that would... I think that's historically inaccurate.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I don't know. I've not seen anything about that. But I mean, well,
have you not?
Cleopatra. I mean, Cleopatra was from Egypt, right? So
yeah, she was also Greek.
Was she? Oh.
Yes.
Was she
white.
Really?
Yes.
Well, let me look at this. Where was Cleopatra born? Let's see. I know she's in fucking... No, she was born in Egypt. She was born in Alexandria, Egypt.
Oh, was she...
She is the seventh in the Ptolemy dynasty to bear the name Cleopatra.
What?
Which means glory of the father. Why not glory of the mother? Let's get outraged about more things. Good God.
Greek.
I think she's...
Greek.
Did she like marry Alexander?
She was born over there, but she came from like a Greek dynasty. It was like Greek blood, so she was Greek. She was just born in Africa.
Ptolemy. Nope.
So
that's still not right. Googled her lineage. Ptolemy. Claudius Ptolemy was a Roman mathematician. So
what ancestry?
I think this gets all of it. I think if there's any historians out
Macedonian Greek ancestry with some Persian.
I know. But let me give you some stuff here. If there's any historians, correct me, because I'm going to get this wrong. I think it's because there's like a weird empire clash thing going on at the time, like. The Byzantines, for example, they had a big old empire, but like it's not a specific country. And I think like Ptolemy's lineage is linked to that.
They were getting stuff. They were getting stuff done.
It'll be some bollocks like that. Basically, Cleopatra's Egyptian. Basically, she's Egyptian.
Yeah, I mean, she's Egyptian in the sense that, like, you know, if if you have family that fled from, I don't know, fucking the old country out in Russia, and they came over to America, and you know, you were born in America, it's like, yeah, you're an American. It's just, you know, you have you know, Russian heritage. You've got that blood in you, which is the same thing that happened with Cleopatra. It was like,
and
you're over in Egypt, but you have got, you know, you've got that blood in you. Which, you know, what's up for debate isn't, is she Egyptian?
Yes, no. It is, because it's part of my point, Judd. Okay. Right? Egypt is in Africa for a start. There's like, you know, there's a very dark-skinned continent everywhere. And in general, people from Egypt like either normally, like, kind of, I don't know what's the right terms here. I might be saying things that are technically not allowed to say nowadays. I don't know. Like light skin, like kind of black but light black, if that makes sense. Yeah. And I'm looking at this actress in this Netflix series. She looks just like, she looks fucking Egyptian, Judd. That's all I'm gonna say. She looks fucking brown, but like, no, and there's plenty of black people from. There would have been lots of black people in Egypt, even historically, as well.
They were being used as slaves by the fucking pharaohs and shit.
She doesn't look like fucking like depth of Nigeria black, you know. I don't think she's like that. She's just kind of like
black. She's fully black. It's a fully black person playing the historical role of what was a white person.
Man. She looks like she could be like just
Jay. Even like if you watch the documentary, one of the whole
it's not a documentary, Judd. It can't be
whatever it is. Literally, the marketing and everything has got people in it going, my mother said that Cleopatra was black, and so my grandmama said she was black, and it's like,
Judd, you cannot do that voice.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. My mama after making some good gumbo.
Shit.
She said she was black, and it's like, so your grandmother wasn't alive in Egyptian times. You know, she
you know what? None of us were. All I'm saying is lots of Egyptian people have that sort of skin tone. It looks about right to me.
You know what they do? So do British people and Americans.
No, but
and all over the damn place.
But English people, historically, quite pale white skin, because of the climate and everything like that. Egyptian people, historically, reasonably light black skin.
Yeah.
And she looks like that! Like, I don't know what to tell you. She looks like that. I don't, like, she's got reasonably light black skin.
People fully from Egypt. She wasn't
she's fucking from Egypt, Judd!
She's not.
Fucking hell.
That's not how genetic. I thought you passed science. Do your fucking genetics change in your body if you move to a different country?
Judd, I know that your birth parents. Listen.
Okay.
Listen. Your parents both from England, right?
Yeah.
If you'd been born in Egypt and lived in Egypt your entire life, you'd be pretty fucking tanned.
I would be pretty tanned. However, would not be black.
No, and she is black.
You look at her. You fucking. Are you stupid?
Oh my
look at
God.
her. Woman. One of the massive marketing things about this whole thing was, as I say, is people going, she was black. I'm telling you, she's black. And literally, the whole Egypt, like the entire country of Egypt, have gone. Are you fucking stupid? I think
what we can all agree on then. Let's find common ground here. What we can all agree on is they should have got an Egyptian to play.
Yeah, that would have made sense. Yeah. They should have gone to a woman from Egypt and gone, is that actually with that? No, they should have got a really tanned Greek woman. That's how. Should have gone to like the beaches in Greek and gone.
Yeah, you know that would be most Greek people as well.
Yeah.
So I think what we're learning here is if you're gonna cast someone as someone, whether it's a historical figure, whether it's a character or something like that, that's from a certain place on the planet, cast someone from that place.
I know.
Like, there's so many people that are so desperate to be actors, right?
and they never get the opportunity.
It means the pool of people that are incredible actors is massive now. It's huge. Yeah. You've got so many people to pick from. So pick just pick. Come on,
it's not just race or anything as well, but disabilities as well. How many times is a character that has a disability portrayed by someone who doesn't have that disability.
Well, I can see a bit of a difference there in that there could be a lot more difficult things to cater for in a production to do with certain disabilities. Like, how are you going to get someone to play a deeply, like, autistic person in a movie that actually is deeply autistic? They're not going to be able to do lines right. They're not going to be able to cope with the pressure environment. It's just...
You hold auditions, and you get someone who's has a bit of experience, as little as they've got, because they're probably not going to have a lot with that kind of condition. And, you fucking just try and shoot the thing. You see how it goes. If it doesn't work, you get a new guy in to play the role. No, it's not the fucking end of the world. If it doesn't work
and it's taking you a week to figure that out, that's millions wasted. You can't just waste millions on the chance that someone might be good.
You don't immediately spend millions on one guy. You spend millions on the show.
I'm not saying you pay the millions. It's all the people that have to operate the cameras and rent the fucking studio or book out the location.
What I'm saying though is, it's not. I don't think it's not immediate and throwing as much money at the wall as you think it is. It's like they wouldn't
at least tens of thousands. It's so much every day on a production.
But they've got that. If we're talking about like a Netflix or something,
you can't just say, they've got it.
Come on, like an HBO or a Netflix.
It's just smart in certain roles. Know that if someone's got a certain condition.
Sasha, hold on, I'm on the phone with my secretary. Sasha, can you bring up the expenditure for that one show we did on the disabled kid? Thank you, honey. What did we spend on that? What's that? 200,000? 200,000? You telling me that kid fucking had a heart attack and died on set? Scrap the whole thing. It don't matter. Wipe my ass with 200,000. They don't give a fuck about that.
I really got sucked into that whole universe. Then can we start a show? But can Sasha be disabled? Because we're gonna have to do some. We're gonna have to look for some actors. What's that one show that I like? Atypical. Budget. Atypical budget. Let's look at this. Because this is literally a show about an autistic person who isn't played by an autistic person.
That is a dramatization. I thought that was a like a documentary or like real thing. Because the points of them is to show everything, so that it wouldn't matter in something like that.
I can't find the budget for this, so I can't really say. But it's my point is that if you have like someone with a certain disability that's particularly severe, you can't have someone with that severe disability then play them because they're dealing with that severe disability. Do you know what I mean? And it's not with everything. For example, like, you could say a severe disability is someone who was in the army and have had 3 of their limbs blown off. Like, that's a severe disability. But that person's got a brain still. Their brain's fully intact and working. Yeah. They can act still. In that scenario, definitely. Yeah. But I'm talking more like mental disabilities.
Yeah, well,
like I said, very very severe cases when it comes to autism, where people like beat up their carers and stuff, and not knowing, but like about like lashing out and stuff like that. There's no
something
chance
just triggers and they start beating
that's going to be better than getting an actor that just plays like that. And you can have someone who's already not so severely autistic, who can understand it better. That's probably a good thing to do. But in certain scenarios, you just got to be, oh, fucking hell, I nearly fell out my chair. You just got to be realistic. Yeah. So, anyway.
There definitely are. They could try harder, is all we're saying. It's like, it's... Yeah, Breaking Bad did it. I mean, fucking Walt Jr. really does have cerebral palsy. Like,
the vast majority of the time, it's not even just about trying harder and including people who don't normally get a look in. That's just an amazing byproduct. Even if you're talking about being completely selfish, it's likely going to be better. It's just going to be better. It's going to be a better, more realistic, better performance.
It's like, again, we talk about fucking Walter Jr., who really had cerebral palsy, and he was great in that show, and he fucking did a great job. But then we look at the guy who's playing, I want to check actually really quickly. Is the guy from the Good Doctor, really autistic. Isn't autistic. So we've got Breaking Bad that it's Breaking Bad, and I don't need to go into that anymore. Or we've got the Good Doctor, who the main character is autistic, but isn't being played by an autistic person. And right now, this show's getting a lot of slack because it's got that very funny meme going around about him having a big breakdown, and a lot of there's a scene. I don't know if you've seen this meme. I don't know how you've missed it if not. But the whole meme is basically this guy's character has been demoted from his job as a surgeon, and he did really well in some operation or something.
I don't remember the last time I realized a new meme format. I think I'm too old for them.
But anyway, there's this one character who is basically in charge of him being a surgeon again, but he won't be letting him be a surgeon again because of some shit that happened before. But this autistic character has a breakdown and basically starts shouting, "I am a surgeon! I am a surgeon!" like this. And it's funny because in the show, it's trying to make this character who's stopping him from being a surgeon out to be the bad guy. But actually, when you do watch the show, it's like, actually, everything this character's saying makes complete sense. He's saying shit like, "You did really good today. If you keep working at this level, at this acceptable level, I can see about maybe getting your old job back and also getting some extra perks." And this autistic character just starts going, "No, I am a surgeon. I am a surgeon." And most, like, a lot of the people are commenting on this and going, "Look, I have pretty bad autism. I would not have a reaction like that. I would put my head straight to the ground and go,
"Okay,
yes."
You've got to get consultants with it, who are. But I think Atypical is a great show when it comes to that sort of thing because the main guy in it is autistic. That's the whole point of it. That it's surrounding kind of family life to do with, being atypical, I suppose. Better this said the show. But thinking about it, like having a lead actor in a show that's probably going to have a lot of filming, be autistic to the level that guy's autistic. Yeah. I don't know how doable that would be. That's a bit more on the fence of things, really.
He only sounds bad because of this one example I'm giving. He's not usually like this. The whole point of the show is that he's a very high-functioning autistic guy who's a very, very good doctor. The show is literally called The Good Doctor. Yeah. It's all about him usually always being like... just autistic, but also really smart and like saving a lot of people's lives. It's just this.
I think it's just very difficult. I meant more in terms of Atypical. I mean, the lead actor from Atypical.
Sorry.
But I think it's very difficult because even in my life, it's like on at work, for example, you can disclose any disabilities you've got. Because they'll offer help with it and things like that, and it was same at university, everything like that. I don't do that when I'm signing up for something because the world doesn't do that. Like life doesn't start you off with like a form to fill in to help you out if you've got a disability. It doesn't work like that. I've got a level of autism as well, and it's like I don't get a pass. I still have to deal with it. So I can't kind of excuse the disadvantages I've got because of it. Do you know what I'm saying? It's hard. So like you've almost got to, as someone with a certain disability, accept that you can't do a lot of things in a way, or you have to get yourself to a point where you overcome it and be able to do it regardless. So, like, for example, there's a difference between an autistic person being able to get over and play that atypical lead character and a blind guy being able to play the blind Daredevil. Because, you can't do all the fight scenes,
Let him do the fight scenes, you bastard.
I'm pretty sure an actual blind person couldn't do all those fight scenes. You see what I'm saying? So, like, if you're a blind guy, you got to accept that blind character, the actor that plays that blind character, can't be blind. It can't be. It doesn't work
like that. The guy who plays
that.
Matt Murdock isn't really blind. God damn.
So you also kind of have to think, right, I'm looking at what that requires, that to be this lead actor. Let's use Atypical as example again. I'm looking at what it requires to be the lead actor in this. It's long days, a lot of pressure, big lights, a lot of people surrounding me and demanding things from me, a lot of noise going off.
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to be able to actually deal with all of this? Like, you know, is this appropriate for me to deal with? Is it going to cause problems? Because if it is, then I'm not the right man for the job. And it's unfortunate it's due to this, like, mental thing I've got going on. But that is you. So you're not the right person for the job, because that's who you are. You're not going to be the right person for lots of jobs. I'm not the right person to enter a fucking bikini contest. I'm fat, okay? Like, you know, well, listen, I suppose a fat guy's bikini contest.
Oh, that's a whole other issue. Oh, fucking start over.
Okay, I'm not. Oh god, I'm gonna say another one that was even worse than actually. But I'm not the right guy to enter a fucking Hearthstone competition. I'm bad at the game. Okay, I'm gonna go with that one. Right? Judd is not the right guy to be on a pro Apex Legends team. He's just not good enough. Can't do it. You know, I'm not the right person to be a product tester for tampons. You know, I ain't got the equipment for it. You know, there's stuff that you're gonna not be the right person for lots of stuff in life. Yeah. Probably more so if you've got certain differences going on with you, and it's just that's how it is. It's no one's fault. You know, you're going to be good at other stuff. Might be a lot more specific and harder to find what you're good at, but you can't like then be annoyed if someone who's not got a certain disability has to do it instead because of the kind of demands of what that takes. When it comes to race, though, that's just like you're just doing yourself a disservice if you cast someone who's not from where the character that they're playing is from. Like, you just may as well. Like, there's no reason not to. So, I don't get that one. Even when it comes to sexuality as well, I guess. I can't see why, if your character was gay, you wouldn't cast a gay person for it.
Yeah.
Unless, there might be reasons.
I don't know,
can't see
I
one.
suppose maybe just if, you know, the actor does the better job with the role, because like my uncle is an actor. He has been in shows, one of which is the Misfit. Is that it? Misfit?
Misfits.
That's right, isn't it? Misfits, yeah. And his character in that was gay. He was a gay man, and there might have been other real gay men that were going for that part, but you know, Sean might have beaten them out because he was the better actor. Sorry, I don't mean to be.
It's true, but like, I'm sure there'll have been a gay actor that would have been amazing. Like I said, the pool's massive. There's gonna be incredible actors that are really easy to find.
The pool's massive. On in.
But I think when it comes to sexuality, I think it's a lot easier to act that than actually being from a place.
Do you watch Modern Family, or have you ever watched any episode of Modern Family?
I'm aware of it. I've seen like it in the background sometimes when I've been places.
Just like there is a gay couple in that, and I mean, if you watch some of the clips of any of their, you know, scenes in any of the show, one of them is actually really gay, like for reals. And you could not tell which it is. Like, you know, I got told that, like, my nan and because my nan and granddad were much more into the show than I was, and they were like, which one of those two do you think is actually really gay? And I guess the other one. So it's like that, you know, it's not
Modern Family gay couple.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess. Okay, so here we are. There's the bear and the twink.
Yes.
Are those the right terms here?
Yeah. No, you got that, yeah.
I would say it's the do you know their actual names, by the way?
No, I don't know their real names. We're just going to have to call them Bear and Twink. But also, you've not seen them act. You've, like, not
Mitch
seen them,
and
like,
Cam.
Mitch and Cam. I actually don't know their names. Like, which is which.
I think it's
Mitch
the
is the bigger one. Say again?
I think it's Twink.
You think it's Twink? Okay, it is Twink. But look, you didn't see them act. You just looked at them.
It's all provable, right? You can tell. But this is a great point. This is a great point of, like, I think the difference is, if someone's actually from a place, they're gonna have characteristics from that place naturally. Yeah. Whereas, what's gay characteristics? What is straight? Like, what makes you look gay? What makes you look straight? It's just that doesn't really apply in the same way, I think.
I'm bisexual, but I really don't like going off that sort of. I don't want to say fruity, but I'm not very in touch with my feminine side at all.
It's camp, I think, is
what I'll
maybe
say. Camp, or it's like
term, like. You're not campire, which is typically what you think of, I guess. As
I'd say I have a very small microscopic drop of it added to like a straight personality, but I don't think that way. It's how I've just described it is exactly the way I usually don't think about myself because I don't give a fuck. I just act how I act. So there's not,
and I think that's good. I think it's weird to like not think that. I think as well. And, there's recently Jubilee, everyone's favorite channel to react to, has done a video which is 5 gay men versus 1 secret straight guy. Where they try and guess the one who's gay out of these 6. None of them were gay. They were all straight. They tricked everyone. They tricked all of the people there. And some of them played like caricatures of gay people as well. And it's just ridiculous. And you see it in certain. To be honest, I tend to. I could be wrong. There's another one here from 3 years ago. 8 straight men versus 1 secret gay man. So 6 straight men and 1 gay guy. Which one's gay? Find them out.
I've definitely seen that porno before.
Oh God. I might be wrong on this, and this might not be right to say, but tweet at tweets badly if you think that I'm being bigoted or something. I tend to think that this presumption that you can tell someone's sexuality is more on the gay side. I don't think that straight people think they can tell as much. Well,
it's also just like you never like sort of like nudge your friend and like nod over to a guy and go, "He's straight." Do you like? No. You're like it's obviously, and probably because the majority of people are straight. It's probably because it's noticeable. Like it's with me.
You get someone who's really camp, and you're like, they're probably gay.
And that's but
it's
then,
likely they might not be.
But then it's like with me, it's like I don't think anybody would do that because I don't. That's not how I act. So,
but is there any, like, obviously acting really camp? You might think they're probably gay. Is there anyone that you would see and think they're probably straight?
I don't know. Like, I'm just weird.
A guy driving a minivan with a woman next to him and some kids in the back.
I mean, it's just the thing is what I'm saying is that it's never something that would ever pop into my head, like because it's just such a normality. But
I think the point is that there's certain drastic characteristics that you can maybe have some confident assumptions with, but there's so much people who swing one way or the other who just fit into the normal category. They're not like camp, they're not like particularly masculine or anything like that, and they could be gay, they could be straight, they could be any sexuality. And I think that's why it's a lot easier to kind of have an actor who can do any of the other ones. But I also think that's why I also think we're at the point now where it's weird to have straight be the default assumption. I think the default assumption should be that anyone is fine with fucking anybody. You know, like, I think that should just be like a possibility for anyone all the time.
You know who I wouldn't think was straight though? Guy sucking a dick.
That probably not.
I wouldn't think he was straight. I think he's probably gay.
Do you know what would make me think he is straight though? If he was sucking that dick, if he was crying and had a gun pointed to his head.
Yeah.
That took a dark turn. Anyway, fucking hell. Yikes. My point being that to do with that, I remember this is maybe kind of the attitudes this have changed a bit, but it used to be, right, that if you have a girlfriend, imagine you have a girlfriend. I know it's difficult for you to imagine. You fucking loser. But God, I'm sorry. But then you're like at a party, everyone's getting kind of drunk, and she's like, "Oh," and like kisses a friend, like subtly makes out, and they laugh about it and stuff like that. Female friend.
I think I'd stomp her head in. I think I would stomp her brains out of her skull.
Oh my God. Okay, that's a bit much, but I think historically, if anything, that's been seen as a sexy thing. Like, never mind, acceptable.
I've never got that ever.
Me too.
It's like if anyone of any gender is kissing my significant other, I would kill both of them and then myself. Is how that's going to go down.
Allegedly. No, I've always thought this. I've always thought this is ridiculous. Like, yeah. I genuinely think if that was any gender, I would hate it. It's cheating on someone. That's what it is. It straight up is.
Yeah.
Obviously, certain people have relationships where they're happy with different things, and people are happy to be cuckolded sometimes. Some people like it. Some people would like their girlfriend making out with another dude. So that's fine if you're okay with it. That's not saying you shouldn't be okay with it. I just think that you shouldn't treat genders differently in that scenario either.
Yeah.
I think
if it's all like agreed on harmless fun, then that's fine.
Yeah.
But
and as well, I think that's why you should always kind of like assume like someone's almost like not assume someone's sexuality even if they fucking told you. You know what I mean? Because it's also fluid as well. Like, especially as a bisexual person, I'm sure you will admit that one day you might fancy one genital a bit more than the other, and the next day you might fancy the other a bit more.
I don't know if that's like the same with everyone. I'll say that's pretty much how it is for me. Like, it's not.
I'm sure some people don't fluctuate as much, but I think you have to be a bit ridiculous to admit that you're 100% straight for a start. And if you're willing to then admit that you're probably not 100% straight, which everyone should, then you should also admit that there's going to be some fluidity to it as well. There might be a lot of fluidity, there might only be a little bit, and that's going to be different amounts at different times all the time. So that's another reason why I just think the whole concept of sexuality is just a bit ridiculous in general.
Basically, everybody should be sucking and fucking all the time. It doesn't matter. Fucking do it with your relatives, do it with your fucking pets.
Now, this is a different thing, though. No. Do you know what? As I've gotten older, I'm more of a prude. I think that there's another toxic thing that is acceptable nowadays. Masturbating.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sin. It's a damn dirty sin.
My brother is dead. My brother's dead.
And I do a lot of fucking sinning, I can tell you that right now. I don't give a shit about sinning and religion. I'm not bothered about that. My point is that I think in today's society we have we're way too accepted of masturbation.
It's way too normalized.
Yes, it's bad. Yeah. It's bad for you. And people say, "Oh no, it's good in moderate." No, fuck that. No, it's bad for you. It's just bad for you. Like alcohol. You shouldn't drink it, really. It's bad for you. You know, it just straight up is. If we're going to admit it, it's bad for you. I don't nowadays, actually. But so is masturbating. It's bad for you. Especially porn. I think porn's the main thing that's bad for you. It just straight up makes sexual relationships more difficult. That's all it does, really, for being honest. I mean, I suppose the only amount that could be healthy is an incredibly small amount of it. So that you're like know pretty much what you're doing going into your first sexual encounter, so that you're not completely in the dark. So you don't start sticking your dick in the ear hole and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just a little bit. Some education is probably the best thing. But and I think that it used to work the best in like the 70s and the 80s, where you'd get like an older sibling or an older friend or something like that, and they'd tell you all these things, like you know, they'd tell you about like sex and stuff, and yeah, it's great and all that sort of thing, so that you'd think, oh, that'll be fun, and I know what I'm supposed to do. My pee goes in that hole, like it's like the bottom one, and I do some humping, and that's it. That's all you should know. You don't need to wank. Don't look at any porn. It's bad for you. It'll get you all fucking fucked up in the brain. I don't know all the science about it, but
I think that's what
all I can say is it'll get you fucked up in the brain.
I think the doctors do say that. I think the doctors do say it will get you fucked up in the brain.
So, yeah, it will actually. I think the technical phrase that they use is it'll make you insane in the membrane.
Yeah, insane in the brain.
That is true. So
yeah.
Well, I did line up some conspiracies we could talk about if we wanted to, but we've slammed through an entire podcast without needing it, so who knows? If nothing happened, we've been going for an hour. We've been blabbing about like kind of gender roles in acting and like sexuality and all sorts of interesting topics.
It's been a weirdly woke one, this, and it's like I feel like our podcast has got this weird sort of like way to be the most offensive thing ever, yet like surprisingly woke.
We're like, really good at offending both sides of the political spectrum at
great.
once.
I think we're great. It's like you know how the people who do Always Sunny in Philadelphia, it's like people like them because they manage to rib on both sides, and you know everybody finds them charming. Yeah. We're the complete opposite. Yeah. We like everybody hates us. It's like nobody finds us charming at all.
And on that note, if you found us charming, please subscribe and follow us on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, podcast badly on Spotify, tweets badly on Twitter, streams badly on most stuff, clips badly as well on TikTok and YouTube Shorts. I might have forgotten to upload to TikTok in weeks, so I might need to get on that. Who knows? But this has been a podcast. I like to do one where there's not really specific planned stuff every so often, where we can just blab on about something and see where everything takes us. So why don't you leave us with the incredible wise words, your regular words that you say, your famous catchphrase.
Well, I just want to say, oh my god, what's that? Oh my god, it's the train again! It's so big, it's pulling me up! Oh my god!
Great bit. Well done. He did it.
You ended it.